Well, this I've got Rona as well. No, I'm just had a hard day at work, so I'm just coming home for some wine. Swick, I'll be on. If you just join an RD2L channel, I'll move you to the admin chat. Whoa. Join like pub noobs or something. I don't know. And I can move you. Because I need some other voices. Oh, yes. Move to admin voice. Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Okay, hopefully people on the stream can hear. Let's just...
Oh, I just heard myself. Yeah, that's working.
Oh, yes. Man, I'm a streaming expert. Man. Hey, Neox.
What up?
I will also give you perms to my sheet. Give me a second. Get link.
I think I have for sheet, right?
Oh, no, this is a different sheet. This
is Moyo's super secret stealth sheet.
Yeah, that no one can look at. Well, actually, you can. Hold on. Message. This is just a classic stream. Man, I get so nervous. But
someone's cracking up a cold one with the boys.
Gotta crack one open with the boys.
With the boys.
Okay. Okay, boys. Right. Rue and Neox. Here we go. Okay. We got the boys here. So you'll see my sheet. Go to Div 1.
Div 1.
Rue, what was the outcome of your game? What was the outcome of your Div 1 game?
1-1 with a because the MVP of Game 3 was sleep. Because half the players had work in the morning and they were just like, let's just call it a draw because that's not going to mess everything up.
A draw?
Yeah, look at the results.
Right. Half my team were getting up in the morning to work. Same with the enemy team. We all agreed, let's just call it a draw, boys. Get some sleep. Let's catch some C's.
So what were the first two games like then? You went 1-1.
First game, bit of a stomp. The other game, bit of a throw.
Yes.
Okay.
Both games, basically our team stomped pretty hard, and then second game we lost focus really badly and threw like 20k net worth for some shit, which is not good.
I think it was 30.
It was bad for sure. I blame my.
There was a VOD and a link. Let me see. Let's see if I can see how big it was.
oh dear! I've got it up on. I'm on the Dropper.
So first we threw one, and then we kind of made it back, and then we threw again.
Jeez, man, that is a big throw.
Yes,
but it was a good job. The team stayed. Like obviously, I wasn't in the comms, but they've stayed. They've not lost any sort of hope or anything. They came back from a massive loss. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that team is... I mean, you got Paul. I guess Paul's like a slave driver. Like, come on! Like... So
Paul's one of those people that...
Like in a good... Like in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like,
he's really good, but people sometimes rate him a bit lower than he is.
Yeah.
Maybe I overrated him, but, you know, I think it's fair. He performed pretty well.
No, I think he's just got that thing that just... He's just a good player. Like...
Yeah.
He's just like
Neon's puck did a lot of work in that second game, but I think if the Cifrix team here,
that's definitely our game to lose. It should have been very free. We kind of lost focus. Started not concentrating.
How is Thunderdyne doing on carry?
I think Thunderdyne was performing both games, right? First game he only died like a few times. He kind of took over the game, him and Bronhi. Second game, I think we did a bit worse in lane, but I think we were still doing well. Yeah. I don't have any big complaints, but we did play Spectre both games, so we'll have to see how he does when we don't.
Yeah, it's eventually. Someone will ban a hero if you play it in every single game, no matter how good or bad it is.
Exactly. Yeah, you first picked 2 cores, both in the first game and second game.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thinking behind that?
I mean, I always like getting carry first phase, because usually what happens is if neither teams picks up a carry first phase, then 6 of them are getting banned. in the
Yeah.
second place.
Fair.
And then you kind of have trouble because, especially if you don't have a really comfortable carry player, you're just gonna run out of options and have to pick like a subpar carry, and then it doesn't matter that you have like later pick, right? Because you're still picking a bad hero.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like the entire hero pool, then maybe you can counter pick an extra hero, right, with your carry pick. So I prefer picking it first phase when we have all the options open, and then I can just draft supports that make up for their weaknesses.
Were you the one drafting?
Yeah.
But I guess it was kind of a team effort and stuff.
I mean, it's always a bit of a team effort, but
Yeah.
you kind of need someone to click the button. Like,
Yeah,
there will
and
be a lot
generally
of
lead.
uncertainty
Yeah.
between like 2 or 3 picks, and then you just have to. Someone needs to make the decision, right?
Yeah, definitely. So if we look here again, the Redidas team, I am surprised that they lost to the Ben team. Yeah, I'm surprised that they lost to that Ben team. I clicked the wrong thing in the Redidas link. I'm sorry. You'll just have to go. We'll just have to say that it's there, but I can't be bothered to find it. But no, I'm kind of surprised that they lost.
Who's on Red's team?
Because you got INXC and
Play,
Play.
Inksack, Frosty.
Yeah, because that's
Owen.
arguably one of the best carries and arguably one of the best mids.
They definitely have a really strong, like when I watched the draft, like this opening Totti Play Inksack's definitely one of the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Frost and Cole Nils Ola were like kind of rough for Div 1.
Yeah.
And
they're kind of those players that are on the edge.
When you have like a carry player and you put them in a lane, like one of these high-rated carry players, you put them in a lane with someone who's not really up to their standard, they're usually just gonna lose their lane because it's much more dependent on the pos 5 than the pos 1.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have to play from behind the entire game, which is a lot harder. Mm-hmm. So you're basically you're one of your most important roles. Like you paid 30 coins for this guy, but he's always gonna play from behind.
Yeah.
Particularly with the high MMR, there's quite a few really strong off lanes out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly,
it's rough. I noticed particularly the difference between mini and main season. The like supports and things. If you're playing from behind, it's so much harder to have a high impact in a game than when you're playing from when you've got at least a decent lane.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean you just can't like lose lanes. It's really hard to come back in mini because people will just take over the entire map very fast.
And then the Den Malalas game. I did link the right one there. But I was saying just before you two, I was saying into my stereo mic. I was surprised. Well, people say Malalas can't do, but this is why Shift is 55 coins. Because I think he can make it like that.
Shift's an incredible leader and player. He really has a lot of impact.
Yeah, I watched a bit of Game 2 and most of Game 3, and I don't know. I think the team needs a bit of work still. Shift team, they almost threw that Game 3. think they died on like 3 heroes with no buyback at the end.
Okay.
Somehow managed to clutch it out.
Wow.
So it was definitely not like a free win. So I think they need to like work a bit on their composure as well, not just like these throws. People will capitalize on these throws very quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you slip up for like a minute and suddenly you lose all map control and you probably lose Roshan, and then game is on again from like 20k net worth.
They've got a few players like that who I'd be worried about. If Shift can like keep people under leash, there's a good chance they could win the whole thing if Shift can properly control everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, Moonshine's gonna be like what most people are gonna look at. This mid player who's low MMR is a very big risk factor, like late game. Like he makes one mistake, doesn't have buyback or something, suddenly game's lost.
Yeah, it's even just like, for example, game 3 there on a Storm Spray. Storm from behind is a completely different hero than when you're snowballing and having a great time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I've put little prediction things.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you write in Oh, we didn't even talk about my team's game. Moyo
No, we
Mouse.
didn't. We need to talk about that one.
Our team got stomped game 1. Right, we met. We had a chat about our draft plan. We were like,
we love that.
This is what we were gonna do. We were like, we're gonna ban Morphling, no problem, whatever.
Ban Morphling, guys.
And then I'm looking and I noticed a 7th pick Morphling, yeah.
And then they didn't ban it. And then lo and behold, Crayon picks it and goes 20-1.
Yes, don't give Crayon the option to 1v9 because he will 1v9.
Yes,
I think they did a smart pick as well by taking the Doom immediately, because that's the only hero which really is like.
Doom is kind of known as the biggest Crayon counter, right? You just put Doom on him, and then you have these 4 subpar players left that can win the team fight. No offense to any of the players, but it's kind of true.
Yes, I mean, and then you'll be very surprised to see what my team first picked next game with their first pick.
Yeah, it's the Doom.
2.
Yeah, they picked
first pick. They also banned the Morphling though.
Yeah,
so,
they banned Morphling. And then they won. It was actually a good game.
You can see from their draft, it's very apparent what they're trying to do, right? They ban out the Morph, the 1v9 hero. They ban out the Oracle, the save for Crayon, and then they pick the Doom to shut him down.
Like Nitos is very good on that Oracle.
Yeah,
as well. So it's also
that's a 7 and 9 on a PA, and that's just not what you want to see. They've even got like the Magnus.
They have the steroid.
They've kind of picked to make Crayon into the 1v9 hero, but they're up against the Doom, so it's
very, very hard. I think they're gonna ban Doom a lot going forward on this team, or they should at least. Because otherwise Crayon is gonna have a rough time. Because Doom is already a good hero in the meta, right?
Yeah, and Crayon did have good farm, but
he would do with a Magnus.
But look at his item build. I'm sorry, Crayon may be 7.5k, but going Battle Fury first item when you've got a Magnus in your team, I don't know. I don't know about that, man.
I've seen it a few times because sometimes you really regret not playing Battle Fury when you have Magnus on the team because you kind of play the wrong side of the map, especially when they're both cores. They don't want to be close together.
Yeah, they both want to get a lot of last hits, although Mag didn't that game.
Yeah. So I can see the reasoning behind it, but probably should have just tried to get earlier defensive items. Maybe get the Manta earlier, then go for like the Death Zone. Maybe consider even BKB or Lincolns, so you can always be effective in these fights.
18 pick.
I mean, Crayon.
I don't know about you guys, but to me that doesn't seem a good PA pick. I feel like they've Dark Willow. You're never going to be able to touch, and Doom just ruins you.
And even Treant to some extent is very good. You have the armor for whoever gets gone on, and you also have the root that pierces BKB, things like that. It's probably why you bought the man.
Abyssal to ever be able to kill an anti-mage.
Yeah, and even with Abyssal, anti-mage has counter spells, so it's very hard to find that.
And I always find that anti-mage attack speed kind of outdoes PA eventually. Like, I would say PA definitely has the mid-game advantage, but then as soon as anti-mage can get MKB, Thrasher,
stronger late game for sure.
If he gets MKB Abyssal, then he can definitely just blow up the PA, but it depends a lot on the team around them. I think they're both fine late game against each other.
But also, people question that Burge draft for me. Burge was on my list, man. I knew he was going to do well. And game 3, I didn't actually see because my team was playing, but
I think this AM performance very impressive. Only 1 death against like a good mini team. It's very good. You usually see like people who are like almost good carries. They pick AM and they die like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
But the really good AM players, they die like maybe once or twice in the entire game, and that's how you know they're a good AM player. Because you cannot die more than that, because then the game starts going really bad, really fast.
I mean,
he died once at 14 minutes, and that's not very late, and that's it.
Yeah.
After that, he was free.
And then you just want him to be this force on the map that is always annoying you, taking creep waves, taking jungle camps, and you never catch him. And then game is so hard for enemy team to play.
And that's why I think he's so valued as well, because he does so much. Like that's why all the pro teams are valuing him as well. But if we go to game 3, look at my team, man. They were on a roll. Look at that Birds, 12-0 on Wraith King.
Yeah, that's
Harp,
huge.
11-3, man. But I tell you something, Mist. I asked my team for their MVP vote, and they all were talking about Mist.
All right.
They say that Mist.
I'm guessing he found some clutch ultimates. Maybe Ricky and the Storm or something like that.
And I think
Storm and Ricky, both those heroes, if they get leashed, are just
very
dead.
Useless.
Yeah. Birds can just run up and beat them down, and Harb's ult will tear them apart.
Yeah.
That's a 25-minute hex on Corey offlane as well. That's pretty. That's a cool build he's gone there to counter the Crayon.
Yeah. Also very good with the Grimstroke, right? Getting hex is like the double value.
Yeah.
If you ever get this leash on Ricky or Storm, you follow it up with like the double hex.
I'm looking at that Ricky build, and that's a 16 minutes to get a BKB. That's he's just fallen off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the kind of typical. I've got Diffusal. I now need to go try fight and not farm, and can't get anything done.
I mean, it's kind of how you have to play the hero, but you need it. Like you need to get those kills, otherwise you will fall off a cliff.
I mean, the trouble is that it's up against a 15-minute Radiance.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to match. It looks like this off lane got really dumpstered, or like basically every lane lost.
Yeah, I think that's the trouble. It's you lose the lanes and you don't have the lineup to be able to play properly from behind there.
And you don't really have like the players. You have Crayon, but if Crayon is only drawing mid, and then he has to try and recover 2 lanes that are losing, it's extremely hard.
Yeah.
I was happy with what they were in high spirits coming out of the games. They were quite funny. So it's because the Brits we're used to losing, you know. So
used to lose.
We are. I mean, it's just a fact.
I mean, this Brit stack looks pretty good so far.
Yeah. I'm hyped out too. But then again, it's really hard to tell after week 1 because the teams can be horrifically imbalanced. I mean, it's just really hard to know.
And it's also just some teams will take longer to gel, and because that is something you've got going for you with 4 UKs is that you do have a fair.
Most of these guys know each other, right? Pretty well.
Yeah.
I feel like Gaia doesn't quite have that same level of like comfort playing with each other.
Yeah, having comfort is really important for sure.
And I know because when I joined their chat to talk about the draft and stuff, and they were pretty chatty. Like everyone was quite talky. Whereas my experience on RD2L teams is mostly people are just quiet.
Yeah, and you don't want to be in the quiet games. When the game is quiet, you know the game is really bad.
Yeah.
Like when people are not even mad, they're just quiet. That's when you're like 90% sure you're losing.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah. Right. So why don't you punch in your predictions? Let's just do all of them at once, and we can talk about it. And we can talk about it after.
Right.
Do you want us to write in the middle here, or
just write whatever. Oh, excuse me.
I'm gonna fill in the easy clean one for sure.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I mean,
against Mouse
team. I bet nobody predicted the 1-1 for Sunday.
Yeah, I reckon that one was wrong.
The forbidden result.
But Moyo, how early does your team go to bed?
Not very. My Div 5 team started our game at 9 o'clock. 22.
It might end up being 2-1 to you guys, though. Actually, this is a Wednesday. My team will be fine.
But we got absolutely stomped, man. Don't even talk to me about my Div 5 team. But we're in high spirits afterwards, so it was all fun. And every team gets to groups as well, so we're like, it's just a scrim. It's fine. Malala's ready to.
Wait, who's the shift team captain? That was Malala's, right?
Yeah, Malala's. Yeah.
And then we didn't see. And then Den set sail for fail. They were.
Nah. Okay, that is my prediction.
Those are my predictions.
I got tested for COVID at the weekend. I don't have it, but I have got a brutal cough. So everyone looks at me like I'm like some sort of like they're like, what are you doing?
Just don't go on public transport.
I'm not sure how to rate the Ben team, to be honest. I'm not actually sure how they've performed. I've not.
Sorry, I'll actually go find
And
it.
you don't have a link, so
Sorry,
I'm not sure what.
I'll go find it. Who is it?
So with that in mind, I'll go this way because I'm unsure.
Why is it not showing me the names?
The Den team is at least capable of winning games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got it. Where is it? So it was the Ben 1 Ready-Das game. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, try that one. Hopefully that one will take you.
Yeah, that looks. Crispy Bacon, Nino, and Shytech. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, so that's another Morphling.
Someone went 23-5. Who was that? In that game
nice
one.
Boy.
Game 1, so
23-4.
That's team. That was Totti.
Yeah, Totti.
Totti going off.
Totti popping off on the morph.
Yeah, game 2 was, despite him going, 17-1 for Shytech this time. He decided, fuck you, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Shytech also ends up on a 1v9 hero, this Anti-Mage. Very scary on these 8k players.
Notably, no Doom Pickle ban.
Yeah.
And then game 3, where he goes off on Void.
I think I watched a bit of this. I think
I'm just gonna say Inex. I don't know how to say his name.
Inksack.
Inksack, sorry.
Yeah.
Did not really perform.
Yeah, none of his games is really.
I mean, I have no doubt that he's a good player. Was he Immortal rank 1,500? Man, guys, I'm sorry at my depth here. I'm Archon. Okay.
Man, it's basically in my bracket. Don't worry.
But he just.
You kind of want to see more convincing stat lines than this from your mid laner. Even the game they won, he's 3-5-19.
Definitely when you paid 56 coins for him, that should be...
I kind of expect a bit more.
And I'm also going to say, look at Crispy Bacon, man. He was on my list for Pause 5. Like, he was actually pretty high up on my list.
I was planning on picking him as well.
I thought he was going to be quite cheap and good player to have on your team.
The thing is with Crispy Bacon is that he goes 0-19 on Meepo, but then he goes 6-4 on Ogre,
With 27 assists.
Yeah.
Man, my boy. But I think that kind of good support, that good positive support, he'll be able to just get stuff done. Really important Div 1.
I might. That's a hard prediction, that one. So I would almost rate that team higher than. It's really close, that last.
Yeah.
The first series between Ben and Den.
Yes, I think so too.
It's also really annoying having managers. To be honest, it really makes it hard to tell which team's which. I'm sure we'll get the hang of it after a bit, but it's.
Can you guys talk? I'm going to go let someone in my house. It'll just be 2 seconds.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll be 2 seconds.
Unprofessional streamer.
Well, it's my first stream. I'm sorry.
Yikes.
I think I might actually rate them higher than Den, but it's going to be 50-50 either way.
I think it's going to be close for sure. I have a hard time gauging both those teams. I feel like this Ben 1 team might have some flaws in it, and you just have to exploit them. Same way you do against Crayon. You just can't let the Shytech play 1v9 Dota. And it's up to the enemy team to have a strategy going in to how you stop this 1v9 from happening.
I see that Den, the only game they won, it's not that convincing to me. Like they've clearly won, but I feel like they've. I guess that's an incredible Darkseer performance. Now that I look at it, that's
Darkseer did well. The Naga did well.
Naga did well. It's a ton of deaths on your mid laner.
Yeah, but
is what I'm worried about when I look at that.
I think this is pretty common with support players who play mid. They play very sacrificial. Severe's POS5 main, I think. And So going mid, he probably prioritizes his team over himself, and just ends up going a bit like too deep, making too much space.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors doesn't. One of my friends doesn't have hot water, so they're borrowing my shower or my family shower. Sorry, where did you get to?
We were just talking about the Den team.
Oh yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
I see. You guys have sided with the Den, but oh no, you've changed Rue. I see. But
I'm very 50-50. It's extremely right in the middle.
Whew.
I'm worried the Den team. It's severe mid. Lot of deaths for a mid laner. Slightly worrying, but I don't think it's that worrying that they can't win that series.
Maybe.
I think game 3 was very close, even if the graph looks a lot looks like Dire stomped kind of, but it was very close. I was watching.
Yeah, you look at the heroes, and it's definitely that's a what's it called? Enigma Spectre.
Yeah.
When you hit the late game with that, that's regal scary.
Yeah, definitely.
But I trust in Shift to leash the boys. That's what I'm expecting.
I sided with the Ben 1 team because I think the Den team is like averagely pretty good, but I don't really see them taking out Beakabau Shitek. I think Beakabau's got a lot in him.
Maybe.
And I think he can do it definitely.
I don't know. I think both this Ben 1 team and this Mouse team, if you go into the game with a clear strategy on how to beat this 1v9 gameplay, then you should be fine. I think the rest of his team are like, it's too weak.
I think
the top down Shitek, and then half the team is gone basically.
I think it depends on how the team plays and things. Like personally, I think based on right now how you've been talking, it's why I rate you 2-0 against Mouse because of that. Because you already know your game plan. You're ready for that. So I believe you've got a solid chance of just cleaning that up.
See, I'm going for the 2-1 versus Mouse. I was kind of conflicted on that series because I know Thunderdyne is good, but I do think his best position is probably pause 4.
Yeah.
Whereas I just feel like if Crayon's team gets ahead, so both games that they lost because they were behind in the laning phase. The game that they were ahead in the laning phase, they absolutely crushed it. So I think when you guys are in that game, you're gonna have to be so careful. Like you're gonna really focus on your lanes and think about how you're gonna deal with Crayon if he does win his lane or how he does that.
It should be mentioned that we didn't lose a single lane in the 2 games against Rue. Smiley face.
It's also, I would say, Ovidiu plus Loki as a dual off lane is super strong.
But Loki was standing in first game. It's
actually you're right. That's why he popped off. It was smiley face.
I think, but they kind of stomped second game as well in lane. I think our off lane is very, very strong. And I think there's gonna be very few safe lanes that can compete with.
I think everyone was expecting it was Thunderdyne 4 Kalamu carry, but it wasn't.
We've considered both, and it's not like set in stone yet. But we're like testing things out, seeing how we can play it. And we have like multiple players who are comfortable on more than one role, and we have different hero pools, so we definitely
you've got that flexibility, which is always really nice for you and bad for the opponents.
Yeah, very annoying to draft against. So you never know which heroes are gonna end up where.
But with Kalamu, it's a very strong dual off lane, so I don't see Crayon getting a free game.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's chat about the Rue Moyo series. Now, I'm sorry, Rue. My team's just good. The boys are good.
The boys are good.
The boys, they're good. They're in tune.
2-0 for Mojo in that series.
Go.
I felt like even though we went 1-1 against Rue, our team was like significantly stronger, and this Mojo team looked very convincing in their first series.
Yeah, but it's also UK Dota.
True. I mean, Corey will definitely find a way to throw at least one game. I'm sure.
Like it's
We've
I
got the synergy, we've got the fun.
I don't see Burge having as free a game as he did there. I think, like, particularly it seems like Burge is the win condition there, and my team's got a better offlane, I would say, than
I would
Mouse's
agree.
team by far. So he's not going to be able to do what he did there. And
I think the Mouse offlane is probably one of the weakest in the Div 1. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Sky
yes.
Scalar.
Yes. So Sky, whilst, I mean, again, I can't comment, it's probably more than 6 times better than me, but my team were saying that because they had a good time versus him, so.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like when Sky doesn't get his Venom offlane, he is a lot weaker.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to see, Rue. We'll just have to see.
There's also, it's Hob versus Neon.
Which I think...
You know who won that in Div 3? That'd be Neon who won that. Neon beat Hob.
Yeah.
I think
Neon was the Hob player, you know? I'm just...
Yeah, maybe. But I would say that's probably one of the most evenly matched mids of the...
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for Harb.
Very similarly.
Harb. But then I feel like Harb always plays better as the underdog, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I kind of want to move on to Div 2 because I want to do all the divs.
Oh God! Okay, yeah, let's fucking go then.
I mean, you don't have to stay. I'm a talker. I can talk for hours. I've got someone who might join for Div 4 if we get there.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, we can.
And if anyone watching wants to join, please just message me. I'm going to put this on YouTube as well. Click the follow, then do not get notifications. You do not want notifications for this channel. I tell you now. Okay, so we're going to Div 2. Right. Oh! Sorry, someone just came into the room. Got free. Hold on, I'm just going to put your...
Oh God, did they show up on stream?
No, I don't think they did. Hold on, I'll chat to them in a sec. Neox.
Stream ban for nudity. Oh.
Someone clip it. Thanks.
Was there any shocks of this one? Oh, I mean, do you guys know much about this division?
Not too much about this division. I know going in who I
know like half these players.
Well, that's better than most people have done.
I know a lot of the players. I know kind of how I'd see the teams, but I've not seen a lot of the results. If there is anyone in chat from Div 2, you know, fucking hop in here.
Yeah.
What about the top-rated players? By the way, I see this.
Yeah, that was just to get chat going. If
right.
Who do you think are the top-rated? If you had to have
in Div 2?
If you had a top list, I'll give you guys a top 3.
All right. Let's see.
I mean, you've got your boy Wale. There's quite a few players who could have been Div 1, and they're the ones who I think, because KK as well is really strong, but
you're really making me think over here. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm Wale is the only one who I'm like, yeah, I'd put him up there because I'd consider him possibly. He's borderline Div 1. Acid's a shout out, and KK as well. But I think those 3 are the ones who like could well have gone in Div 1.
I'm gonna put a shout out to my boy Snuffkin because I think he overperforms. But that was in main season. But I'm
trying to look at the players I would consider drafting in Div 1, and I don't know. I think only KK kind of, maybe Acid, but I don't think.
But then just remember, Rorin was Div 1 last mini.
Yeah.
Was there anyone else?
Remember who he got knocked out?
Dildog was Div 1 last mini. Takeshi. Was Takeshi Div 3 last mini? Jeez.
Takeshi was Div 3, yeah, because he was in... Well, Harb was Div 3.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Harb and Neon, both of them.
Yeah. I feel like Neon, because of that performance...
Actually, I think Swagman is actually a pretty good player from what I've seen.
Dekite was in Div 2 last time, actually. Molten Knight was Div 4 last time? Oh man, I can't remember.
And that's
Molten was Div 3.
Yeah, Div 3, yeah.
But he was on a fairly underwhelming team.
So for me, so I'm not surprised Debaui's team lost 2-0. Now,
I mean, you've mentioned Snufkin, and he's
that team. I mean,
looking at game 2, that I'm not going to look at game 2 again. I'll look back at game 1. They've drawn the side lanes and lost middle, but
yeah, I think the Legatisteg team it feels a bit lopsided. It feels like you've just got people who just don't I'm sure Barg and Dildog get on fine, but they're kind of from different worlds. Well,
you sure they get on fine?
in game, I'm sure that it's just fine. I'm sure that it's just baseline okay.
I think
so extremely weak. What happened during this draft? I paid 38 for Dildog. That's a huge bait, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dildog went for a bit much there, and I think he's not. I hate to say it, Zaza is known as a bit of a tilter. I want to say, same as Barg to some extent, and Dildog. It's a lot of personalities that can easily tilt out, and I don't know Legatisteg myself, but it's hard to. You've really got to be winning for that team to do well.
Yeah.
And this is a rough start.
Yeah, it's a rough start. I think Zaza, I think, can be very good, and I think at one point he was. I think he's not played a. I can't quite remember. Hold on, let's get him up.
To me, that's the thing with that team as a whole. All those players can be good. They're just not together. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lacking a star player. From what I see, you have
and you're lacking a real
captain as well.
Yeah, captain.
Because I feel like you need both of those kind of.
But I do think they were against one of the stronger teams, which is the Madsen team, because I think Frass, Acid,
playing POS 5, by the way.
Yeah, I think he should be playing POS 5 in that team. That tricore is really strong when I look at it, especially for Div 2.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is this? Yeah, I think that's strong. Let's make some predictions then. Dan Debawi. Now this Dan, new kid on the block, but I love his team, man. I'm sorry, tribal for 10 coins is a bargain. I'm like this. Yes, it is. He's a lot of, he might be some work, and that's okay. But Swag and Napa are gonna be fine with him. And Dan himself, I chat to him while we do the draft. He seems all right. I don't know. I think that's the kind of team. I think that's going to be 2-1.
Tribo played. He played Techies, and then he played Rubik, and they won. And then he played Tiny, and they won. So if they keep him off of Techies,
Did they go first game Techies?
They've definitely got a chance. But
I mean, going first game Techies, it's fun. Good bit
better. By the way, you need to copy paste another one of these.
Oh, sorry.
You're filling out my predictions.
Oh, sorry. Just delete it and.
Shaking my head.
Sorry. Stream quality, boys. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
I think this Dan team. Not sure how strong they are, but I'm sure this Debaui team looks very weak. So that's a 2-0 for me.
Yeah, I see the Dan team looks all right, while the Debaui team.
I mean, Debaui is 0-15-4 first game, and then 0-13-8. This is not acceptable in any game, and especially not as a captain. You can't have this stat lines.
If it was Malala Zergo Div 3, I'd see that as a disgustingly strong dual offlane that would tear apart people. Div 2, not so much.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to have been winning any of their other lanes either.
I look at this Wyvern, and I don't think I've ever seen net worth this low. He has Aetherlens at minute 42, followed by Ghost Scepter at minute 51, and Blink there at 64.
Well,
How do you not manage to...
Also, they're POS 4's on 12k net worth.
Jesus.
They've just got... I guess it's because...
I mean, at some point, you don't give all the creeps to your Terrorblade, who has 8 slots.
Yeah.
You just W the creep wave with Wyvern and get like 100 gold every minute, and then suddenly you actually have items. You can play the game. Like you're not the hero if you have Tranquil's wand until minute 40.
That's such a low kill count. That
yeah, I know. I was
well.
just about to say, man, like only what 52 kills in.
Yeah.
That's like less than a kill a minute.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't know.
Like what happened? Man, that must have been such a boring game. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It's a Tinker.
So boring.
It's Tinker Void versus Doom Terrorblade.
Mm-hmm.
Where like,
in my opinion, the Terrorblade team wants to be active, right? They have Pugna, who's an really active early game mid hero.
Mm-hmm.
TV is very good at pushing towers early game. He popped meta at like minute 10. You take a tier 1 tower. And Doom just wants to get active. Every time Doom is off cooldown, he wants to go, right? He wants to smoke into a fight.
And also with
13-minute blink, you can catch a Tinker.
Yeah, and also with
minute 13, you should just
faster than the Tinker's blink. You know,
with the Elder Titan as well. That TB and that Pugna are going to do so much damage in that early game.
Yeah,
with
for
the,
sure.
With the armor reduction.
I'm not sure. It really looks like issue with like the captain, not like coordinating the team at all, and not like paying the back.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Is that they've not
looks like they just called it to be like, let Terrorblade farm, we will win late game, which is not a good assumption because you're playing into Void Tinker. This Terrorblade will never win late game. It's impossible for him to play.
God,
sorry guys, that's a boring game. Okay. I know. Don't even get started. Okay, so we got hold on.
Wait,
I've got Dan in here twice. That's not right.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Which one is Dan playing?
Dan is playing Haraway. So Darba's playing Haraway.
Wait, okay.
Yeah, so it's Darba. How was Darba? That changes things.
Darba team, they lost against. They were the team who lost.
No, they played against the Dan team, didn't they? They lost.
Yep.
Well, that.
I'm actually going to make a low-key prediction now. Either Madsen's team or Dan's team is winning Div 2. There you go. I'm just saying it. So I'm gonna put Dan is gonna win. 2-0. 2-0. Actually, 2-0. Oh, sorry, Ree, that's your predictions, huh?
2-0. You just change my name.
No, it's fine.
Because you'll keep doing that every time.
I won't. I promise. I won't.
Wait. Right, my one needs to be renamed to Haraway. There we go. Yeah, so I see Dan beating Dabawi, and then Darba v Haraway's Haraway fairly easily won.
I think Haraway should win that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I see. Darba's team didn't look.
I mean, all right. Here's the thing. Before mini drafts happened, there was some talks of Darba being sandbagged, about him maybe going Div 1 even. And then he ends up in Div 2, right? He has pretty good coins, and he loses his first series. That's a big warning sign for me, that maybe this player is not sandbag, he's just not that great.
I think Darba, I've never thought of being a Div 1 player, but the problem is some discussion he has had like 3k MMR at points. Like, he's definitely been sandbagged before, but hard to tell. Walu's team, Walu fucking popped off. With Jihadi Swamp as well popping off.
Jihadi Swamp, he is good. He is good. I remember him from last mini. I think he made it like Div 4.
Yeah, I feel like Div 4 or something.
And he was because I thought I was going to pick him up in Div 5. I remember, but he was good. He was good. He was really good actually.
What happened in the game they lost, though?
They lost.
It seems like KK though.
They lost.
It seems like KK is not having as much impact as I'd have thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
Like his scores aren't that good considering, but it might be draft and hero based.
Yeah.
But
And they also
But he did get last pick on this TB second game. What about the first game he got? The pick.
he played
Puck. He played
died a
Puck.
lot as well though. He's is he washed up at the moment? I don't know.
Let's have a look. I don't think so.
I can't remember. It was
last pick Ember as well, not really having an impact. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it
because
might be.
I rated him highly coming in. It might just be the series, you know. It might be a
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
usually when
but
you give someone last pick, you kind of expect them to pop off, right? That's the whole point of last pick. Like even if this game worked out because Waloo popped off,
yeah,
it should really be the Ember. You kind of look.
I think that though is the thing is that they have two players who can pop off.
Yeah,
and that to me means that. Oh, but Madsen's team's good. But they also play against that team, so I don't know. I can't rate them highly for beating that team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you
not?
That's true. Like looking at that team, they did not put up a fight even.
Bad. Well, Madsen's team, even if it was meh, would be good in comparison.
Yeah.
So
I really like that Madsen team, and I'm gonna say that Exela team. I think they maybe probably could have won that game. They probably could have won that series because I really like that team. Roaring Holy Harry supports like Sergeant. I don't know. I feel like that's I really
that implies how strong Waloo's team is though, while not how strong Madsen's is. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, fair. I've given 2-0 to Madsen, and then I've given 2-0 to Zella for that against the guy's stick.
You think 2-0 against Waloo?
Yep. I believe, 100%.
All right.
I really doubt that.
Yeah, I'm very much not on that.
Like even the game that Waloo lost looked pretty even still.
It's a very even game with Waloo having massive impact, and he's against SMMN. He knows SMMN. I can see him. He's gonna have impact. He's not gonna get shut out whatsoever. So, I think we're all fairly.
Everyone seems on the same page about the last matchup.
Yeah,
this Legato Steg team is I don't know.
It was a pretty strong Zella team against a team that seems if they win this game, like if Legato Steg win this game, I'll rate them a lot higher. But right now, that series is just. You don't lose that badly. You should never lose that badly.
Like neither of those games were actual Dota games. Like if you look at the stats, it's like it's depressing to watch. 111 Wyvern, 4-8 mid, 2-3, 110 on the off lane. Like this game is just depressing. And then the second game is somehow worse. They have 6 kills just in total with 41 depth.
Yeah, I know. It's honestly almost as painful as my Div 5 teams game. So just don't flame too hard, okay?
Oh, I just want to skip to Div 5 just to stay back in.
You don't.
I think even if you have 5 worse players, like pretty significantly worse, like you shouldn't lose this hard.
Yeah. The Scott stat had consistently better results than that.
Scott stat won one game. Not even any series. I think we won one game the whole season.
They at least because I casted all their games. They looked like they had a chance in some of those games. Those ones there, no chance.
No chance.
Yeah, these don't look like they had much of any chance.
And that Exela team is strong. Like I think Holy Harry Sergeant average support can do a lot.
I guess it will be more clear next week how. If they were just matched against the absolute strongest team, or if they're actually the team is just super weak overall. Because sometimes you just get the worst matchup at the beginning, and then your team looks way worse. That
could be what it is. It could be that Madsen's team is actually insanely strong, and their team is actually pretty strong. Just compared with that, they're terrible.
Exactly. But
Right? Should we do? I mean, you guys don't have to stay for Div 4 or for Div 3. I can plow on and find other people.
Man.
But if you guys are happy to join, then I've got lots of thoughts.
No,
I mean,
Div 3 is my old stomping ground.
I've been streaming for an hour, and my Div 1 deep dive last time was an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, we're keeping things moving.
Yeah.
It's you can't spend too long on every game, particularly the first series. It's hard to really judge because most teams are going to play a bit worse than they will later.
All of these teams probably had their first games ever together, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because there's quite a few teams like my one's done a little bit of playing together and things, and other teams will have, while some teams will have played none yet or have just started.
My team had 2 scrims before the Sunday games. That's like all the.
That's quite
I think mine played 1 pub. That's and then
a lot of people are now scrimming tonight. I actually couldn't get people to come join me because a lot of people were scrimming tonight.
Yeah.
But Div 3, we have got the biggest match of the entire mini.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I've highlighted it. Because do you remember the free legit split?
I do not, because I don't know this man.
Do you remember?
I remember free legit split going on, but I don't remember why it was going on.
Okay, so for all of you out there who don't know what happened, basically legit split was oh man, I'm actually blanking on it. I thought I'd remember as I started, but
wasn't it some kind of bar between him and Denden?
Yes, it was. Basically, Den had banned it because he had basically done a stand-in thing or something wrong and hadn't followed the rules, and so he needed to be banned. But then everyone was saying it's way too harsh a ban, but Den wasn't budging on it, and so it was like everyone was trying to go up against Den, but everyone was like free legit split. Den was like, well, I don't care because he broke the rules. And us and the admin team were kind of like, well, he broke the rules and was kind of being a bit meh about it. So there was this big kind of free legit split. Eventually, legit split got freed. I was calling these two teams to be in the finals together and history to be like become real, but history to be made. Are you
calling that based on how they played or based on? Because I've got some inside information on this series.
No. Only storylines matter here. Players don't matter. Teams don't matter. Only storylines matter here. It's Destiny. So
Denden's going for the highest average GPM in the entire mini, and legit split team. I've got some inside information, so I'm going 2-0 Den without a doubt here.
Legit split his team. Who's saying that? I can't even read your name.
The
pro is Giga Omega. I mean, like if you look at their, I feel really bad that Butters didn't make it into that team. I'm Luke. Hi, Luke. But yeah, I also do think it's going to be a 2-0 Den.
Are we missing like games? There's only 2 games in this legit split.
These are the.
Did they not tick it?
Some teams didn't tick it. No, I just clicked them through.
Shaking my.
Let's go.
Oh wait, no. This was they forfeited game 3 in that one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because Butters, I think it was Butters. I don't know who Butters is, but his
South African.
His internet died.
Yeah, his internet is always, or even his electricity. Sometimes it just shuts down.
But yeah, generally speaking to some of the players on that team, they're not particularly confident.
Yes, I think I've seen this as well, actually.
You've not seen what I've seen.
Okay.
I don't know what you've seen.
Okay. Well, all I know is that there's some personalities playing up as per. Okay.
I mean, I see a few personalities in there. So
yes.
I just personally have been. There's the EU4 shout or EU4 stack. Shout out to EU4 everyone. Monday nights.
Is that Kimmer? Is that Kimmer plus people?
It's a bunch of RD12, including certain members from that team who brought up.
Hold on, Luke is saying in Twitch chat that Butchers had some IRL stuff. You guys haven't seen what I've seen. People are at each other's throats. Is it that bad? Is it that bad, Rue?
based on my inside source, yes. People not listening to each other, and generally, despite winning that game, they were not doing well.
Freaking drama.
That's
Let's
a bad
go.
sign.
So never a
wins
good
aren't
time.
good.
Yeah, okay.
Denden's team seems really solid.
Yeah.
Denden's had a great time, and
Yeah, Denden's got all his pals on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize 3 of these people, which might be a good sign. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Callister,
Keyword and
he somehow
the
got
T-boys.
I don't know how you give Callister death, and he played Razor. He plays these heroes, and he just wins the game, and Den finishes with a score of 0-1-7.
and got the highest GPM.
And he buys a fucking butterfly, and he still wins the game. It's just
oh man, that's so funny. Damn, gotta love him. Okay, let's go on but maybe they're not going to meet in the final, but they're going to meet here. Oh yes. Sorry, Lavi's actually remembering. Lavi's making me remember. He's chatting.
He's a Joker.
21 Friends. Yeah. I actually forgot that 21 Friends was maybe a bit of a tilter, but hey, people can change. Surfix talks a lot of game, man. Whenever I have him on or chat to
my
him,
boy Surfix, my manager, I gotta give him a 2-0.
He lost his Denden's team.
For a game like this, the stats go out the window. All right, it's a 2-0 for my boy.
I really like Surfix's team.
Relatively unbiased with my 2-1 before. I was,
what have you guys?
But that's fair.
Did I go for? Hey, someone wrote 2-0 in my one. Rue, you're at the bottom now. You're typing in my one.
Oh wait, whoops, that was me.
Oh.
I can't read,
not
right?
me. I will not accept that.
Slander.
I disturbed Joker's team. Zom was Div 5 last time. Let's just remember that. Let's remember that Zom was Div 5 last time.
Oh, is that the guy who plays Techies?
That's the Techies.
Yeah, it's the Techies player, yeah. But he's actually not a bad offlaner. Like, I don't think he Div 5 last time he played any Techies, and he played pretty well.
What is that team?
Yeah, I know.
What is that?
But they beat the legit. Beat the legit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I might be inclined to. I like the players. I like some of the players on that team, but I don't consider them to be Div 2. Like, I don't see who's gonna win them the game.
Rage Dino, man. He's going to. But then they won against Legit Split, even though they did lose a game. So.
Well, they lost the game, and then the other team abandoned the last 2 games. They didn't win a game there. That game didn't end. That was someone crashing. They
second game?
Win a game. They just got a forfeit win there.
What is that? The Disturbed Joker team?
Yeah.
Against Legit Split's team.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Look at the series.
Oh,
look at game 2. Game 3 wasn't played.
Oh yeah.
They didn't beat that team.
Oh, so they lost the first game and then they had 2 forfeit wins.
Yeah, I really don't. That's not a good sign.
That is not a good sign. Actually.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, the other team with Pop mid, they did well against the Den team. That seems really strong. So.
Yeah, I like that team. I think GLK is a bit undervalued at 5 coins personally in that div, but
I have no clue who that is, but sure.
Watch out for him. He's going to be good. I bet you. I'm calling it. Lightning SSD. I think out of all the games, this will probably be the closest one.
Man, I gotta give it to my boy Cloud.
I think this is a really good. I think this would be a good series to watch.
Paul is also on that team, so I'm gonna give it to SSD actually. No offense, but yeah.
SSD's team seems to it's their off-lane.
Unha is definitely Div 2 material, I would say. Unholy TV.
Really?
Or LV, I mean. Yeah, it's a friend of Agnitos. I played in Breakaway with him. He's definitely okay. Post 4. I would pick him in Div 2. I don't know how he performed in this series, but he's a pretty good player.
But they're up against that Vultures team. That Vultures team is good. really good. I really like. I think that Vultures team might take it.
Yeah, Chuckle Mouse. I've played a decent bit with Chuckle Mouse.
I mean, this is what happened last time. Vultures got into Div. He probably should have been Div 2, but he made it into Div. Last time he made it into Div 4, and he just crushed Div 4. Like
Fred's a serial winner.
Yeah, Fred, but there's a reason he's a serial winner because he's super consistent. Super consistent.
Oh,
I've only got one game here. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but that team definitely won on the. I took it from the challenge thing. Challenge.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for the Lightning game, I'm going to give it to my boy SSD. I like their team a lot. For the Vultures bench game, it's an easy 2-0 bench for the boys.
I mean, bench is just like he actually kind of griefed the draft. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I feel like he shouldn't have been allowed to do that, but I don't.
Not sure who allowed it. But,
well, okay. Let's talk because I was part of the people behind that, obviously, because I'm an admin. Just flex.
I've never seen who it was who approved it. I've only because I'm in the mini committee.
I mean, we're a team, so a griefing draft would be if none of the players wanted to be on that team. So if Bernard was picked, if I got picked for this, I don't think I would enjoy it because.
I mean, I've heard he checked with everyone beforehand.
Yeah, so he checked with everyone.
Yeah, it's not technically it's not a ban. It just feels like he's.
But I think it's kind of against what Mini is, and it's kind of.
I mean,
but
then remember Div 2 draft last Mini, where pretty much everyone just drafted their friends. Sergeant Average drafted 3 players that were less. For 0 coins because
they were all of his they were his stack though, and I think there's something to be said for Bernard is not a Div 3. He's not 4-5k, and he is 300 MMR.
I mean, it's probably 1k if you
he's 1k. Yeah, so even if he's 1k, a 3k player would be a drop down, but it wouldn't be a massive. 1k is a bit.
Yeah, I get why it seems like a bit of a grief, but really the only people that he's griefing is the people on his team.
I think that's my problem.
I've heard the argument that it kind of griefs the division below because now a few players that should be Div 3 end up in Div 4 and Stomp, kind of.
But then people who should be in Divs aren't all the time. And no one ever brings that up then.
It's different if you honestly, in Div 1, if you check players like Moonshell, for example, he's below, right? But he's rated highly because Shift thinks he's better than these other mids. But you would never, ever, honestly pick Bernard over basically any other player for Div 3. You can't make that comparison. There's no justification. It's just for fun, right?
Yeah.
But most of the other players that end up in a division higher or lower, it's because they're valued compared to the other players, right?
They're valued,
or they're friends, and they want to.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think
I would say picking friends goes for 500 MMR. Maybe you can say, all right, he's a friend, so it doesn't matter. But when you get to 2k MMR difference, friends doesn't really cut it. It's just that's
maybe they'll get maybe they'll end up actually winning a game or something. But looking at it's,
it definitely was a new thing, but I think letting it play out, seeing how it goes is fine, and
it's happened.
We'll learn from it, and if it's really bad, we can make precautions against it. But then when you start adding in rules like that, it kind of it takes away from me. So if we start saying, well, you can't draft people that are below 500 to 1,000 MMR below your division average.
2k below, and that would stop this.
So Crayon is playing in Div 1 at 7.8k MMR, and someone else And hold on, where is Moonchild?
I mean, Moonchild is like 5.8, right?
Yeah, so Moonchild's 2K below him. So
But
by that rule,
he's not 2K below average or
I think
lowest.
it's 2K below 40th, or 2K below 80th, or 2K below 120th.
But
Yeah.
then, what then?
That would be
in Div 5,
7.
and then Div 5 is just anyone, right?
Yeah, Div 5 is everyone left. That doesn't matter at that point, because then
What do you mean it
you
doesn't
can't
matter?
grief anyone below you. But you can, if a Div 1, imagine if Div 1, like if I make a friendship stack with a bunch of Div 3 players, then suddenly there's 4 Div 1 players in the Div 2 pool, and it's gonna completely ruin the balance, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something that we should like learn from and think about for next time. But
I mean, yeah. There's no like rules in place for it now, so you can't really ban or do anything about it. But maybe for next time, look into a way to prevent it.
yeah,
I mean, if they end up winning a couple games, whatever, but with results like, I don't know who UVS is, but man, you've got basically a guaranteed loss.
I think these guys are like some of them are like heralds as well, like the friends of bench. Maybe.
yeah, I think bench coaches some of them actually.
Yeah,
I
they
think
straight up got a 2K average offline or something.
There's Archon, Herald, and Ancient.
T-Reds is the only. I didn't realize Chef was Archon as well. I saw I saw T-Reds. I assumed Chef and UVS weren't as low as they were as well, but that's
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely something to think about for next time. Okay, let's go on now. Let's go into Div 4. I think Div 4 is potentially one of the more interesting divs. I think it's like a U, right? Div 1, super interesting. I'm sorry, Div 3. I'm gonna say that you're boring. I think Div 1 is kind of interesting. Div 2 gets slightly worse. Then Div 3 is kind of the bottom, and then Div 4, and then Div 5 is really fun as well. If you
I mean, the entertainment value goes up when you at least watch the games in like Div 4, Div 5. You're gonna see some really dumb shit. No offense. Like, you're gonna see Underlord fucking TP out before Aegis drops, or you're gonna see like...
I mean, you should have seen my Div 5 games. My team... I mean, It was glorious. It was glorious. We had a guy just like... He was like... We were like, are you here? And he was like... And we realized after a couple minutes that he just wasn't here.
I didn't...
And we were like, where is he? And then he was like, guys, I'm back. Didn't ask to pause or anything.
I didn't realize Regu got Sparta.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
Regu did get Sparta.
Regu and Sparta's like old school fucking...
They're like peanut butter and jam, you know, if you mean.
Really?
Fucking boring. That's the EU4 stack there.
Really?
Well, Sparta doesn't play so much, but the other two do. And
so I actually did...
I
actually did a quick rating of these teams after the draft, and I rated the Deadly Taunt team number 1.
Deadly Taunt, SJ High Empires.
Yeah. You forget the Lavi's a flat 4K player.
You also forget that Lavi is one of the most disliked players in RDTL, I would say.
So I actually have an interesting thing. I actually have an interesting thing on this. I think Lavi is one of the most perceived disliked people. So I was looking into this a while back, and I messaged all of his captains, asking him about what he was like on their team, and all of them
message players? Because Savect simultaneously was generally captains were okay with him and players weren't.
Yeah.
As someone who's played with Savect but not with Lavi, I'm a.
See, I played with Lavi. I had no issues with him. But people won't forget he's a 4K, and I think he can outperform his rank. Definitely.
I think his plays are okay, but his personality kind of outweighs it for me, at least. I would not want to be in a team.
If he had a better personality, he'd be a higher MMR because he.
I agree.
That's one of those things. It does hold you back to some extent, having a toxic personality.
I mean, I've got a great personality, and I'm really low key. So
man,
I mean, how do you explain?
Don't worry about it. You'll get there one day.
I'm really toxic in games. Actually, I flip really quickly. Okay, let's do this one. Let's have a wee look.
+2.
I'm actually going to do Neo. Actually, I'm going to put me at the top because.
Whoa!
Wow.
I know. I'm
Relegate second position, Neox.
I'm sorry. And then Rue, you're definitely third. Rue, what's it like not playing in this? Are you enjoying the freedom that you get?
Actually, it's been great having absolutely no pressure at all, or like.
Yeah.
I've got once a week. I've got EU4, and then my team's kind of managing themselves. I don't really have to do anything there. I bring to them random nonsense from the Cat Jam Herald. It's great.
Herald. I actually didn't get the Cat Jam Herald for a long time, and then now I get it. It is so funny, like I when I figured out what it was after not really paying attention to it. It is so funny. I love it. I think it's amazing. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Big fan.
Rats need to die.
And also, it's because I'm behind the scenes in a lot of the stuff. Even if I'm not involved, I can still see it. So it's so funny just seeing what gets out. It's really fun. It's amazing. I love STL doing God's work.
I'm very
right. Oh, it's brilliant. It's so funny. Okay. So Neox, you put Ready Das 2-0 against Luke's team.
Yeah.
I like the Ready Das team.
Strong, right?
Luke's team seemed to do terribly in game one and then they won one game where they had their mid laner went off, and I don't know.
I think that Regu team though is very strong.
I think the trouble as well is
but then look at
Falls is abusable in this because you do just ban his heroes. He is bannable now.
Who is?
Falls.
Oh yeah.
It's not main season where he's got a bunch of other players. He is one of the people who you target with bans.
But look at that game too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an 8-0 SF though. That's an SF who's gone.
The other team only got 4 kills in 40 minutes.
It looks like they just lost every lane and then it fell apart.
Yeah, they just got rolled in lanes.
4 kills in 40 minutes though. Like even if you're a lot, that's
look
really
at
hard.
They had Pos 4 Invoker with a Brewmaster doesn't do anything in this game against those heroes.
Oh, I actually saw what the fuck. This Smoker Rush Ags on Pos 4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not like this.
Zero 4 hero with how he's done.
The only time you rush this Ags item on Invokers, literally when you have Void. Alright.
Yeah, but Void's the only time here.
And they were up against Luke. Is this Luke's team? Yeah, the Falls team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look at game one. They got rolled game one.
Yeah, Lavi's saying that Luke's team might not have a shot caller, and I kind of agree with that. I think Falls doesn't have a mic for one.
Yeah, they have pretty good players, but if you can't get them to play together, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, 5
stronger than 1.
So I'm actually going to call both of these teams not as strong and as weak as they look, because if Regu's team can lose that badly, and the other team win that well.
I think that's a draft problem. I do think that they're not the best team, but they've got friendship going for them.
Yeah, but 4 kills in 40 minutes, man. That is a big oof.
Very rough.
And then their third game, it went to an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, Sparta was
playing.
Is Sparta playing carry in all these games?
Yeah. I know. Sparta carry. Right? I'm surprised too, but
interesting.
It's because it's Regu mid and Sparta carry. Normally they'd be 3 and 4 together, but whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He seems to have had pretty good impact from the carry.
He did well on carry, but second game not so much.
So I'm actually gonna say, what did I say? I haven't said anything yet.
Don't say it.
I'm actually gonna. I see. I don't really.
Or maybe it's Monkey Flip's a really weak team, but they stomped 2 games in a row. Like Ready Das himself was the one who's gone off in both those games as well.
I look at that Redidas team and I just don't. I mean, maybe Cheshire. I think Cheshire Cat's a good player. I'm not sure. I think that Redidas Luke series could go either way. I don't think it's gonna be 2. I think it's gonna be 3 games.
Yeah, they put Cheshire Cat on a simple enough mid, a solid tanky mid who can just survive and get shit done. And Redidas just pops off on whatever hero he last picks for himself.
Yeah. Redidas looking pretty clean on his carry.
It's a lot easier to be that 1 versus 9 hero in these lower divisions than it is in Div 1.
I mean, especially when like a lot of these players are like a lot lower MMR than you.
Mm-hmm.
Like Redidas at 4,700. Like most of these captains are like 500 below him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 with Luke. I think I just don't see that Redidas team. I think I think that Luke team can do it. I really do. I think it would be a close. I think it'll be a close series, either way. I don't think it's. I know you guys got 2.
I disagree, but sure.
I think it could be really close. KCC Regu, that is going to be a good series.
I seem to have just lost.
I met that guy Kanto in a pub, and he was a Sven, and he went into jungle for about 15 minutes and emerged with a Midas.
Lost every lane, and then second game
they emerged with a Midas, an Echo Saber, an Ags, and a what was it called? An Aeon Disc.
Sorry, I see their team there, and they're losing. Like they're losing their lanes too much. Like
they didn't win any lanes in these 2 games.
And I don't think Redidas's team is that strong. Like it's strong, but I don't think it's you can't win a single lane against that team.
I mean, if you're like similarly skill level, you should like accidentally win a lane in 2 games. Like.
Yeah, I guess, but maybe, like when I look at that KCC team, I'm not sure. Has KCC? I think he's new, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
Think so.
But then, like, I don't see anyone in that team being in this format of drafting and that. Whereas I look at Redidas team. Pretty much all of those players are very experienced RD2L members. Like, experience does matter in RD2L to an extent, especially in drafting, especially when you're kind of lower MMR as well. So.
With Div 4 in particular is you're lacking in-game captains and drafters. Both those roles, you just unless someone's a value who has done that stuff before, you just don't have it, and you don't. And it's it's a skill.
Very few of these players at this MMR even have any experience of shot calling and captaining at all, because. Everyone in that bracket is so focused on like just becoming better mechanically or like learning things.
Yeah, or just trying to get a win.
Like usually the shot calling and stuff like that, it comes at the level where everyone is already like mechanically pretty skilled. Everybody knows their matchups. They know like what item builds to go. So when there's nothing like more to gain on that front, you just have to improve your macro gameplay, like how you play the map, how you shot call, how you ward, and things like that haven't really reached that level, I think, in Div 4. Mm-hmm. So if any player can like take up that role and like do it decently, they're gonna roll these other teams, I think.
And if not, players like Redidas will pop off hard and solo carry games, because that's the other way to win here. Either lead your team well or just solo carry them.
I mean, I'm sure this Clinks just runs across the map and kills people solo all the time, because this dire team just doesn't have the coordination to punish it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then you've got 3 offlaners.
Then we got Deadly Taunt Mouse. I think that's gonna be again another close series. So I'm giving it 2-0 to Deadly Taunt because I really like the Deadly Taunt team, but I'm going to give 1 game to Mouse because I feel like Grimjaw for 8 coins is a bit of an undersell.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I know some of you who will play with him.
I've flamed Grimjaw pretty extensively, but he's not 8 coin in Div 4 bad.
Yeah, I mean, his MMR is not. When in this bracket is not low.
No.
We're talking Grim Joe against Larvae here. It's the two
both banned for the in-house, I think.
Played about, but they're in both teams. So.
I mean, he plays in-house and he's Divine 1.
Yeah.
And he plays carry. So, like, he's up against people who are, like, immortal.
It was very tilting having, like, a really low +1. Like, the only place +1 is really ruins the in-house. But I think he, like, in his bracket, is probably fine. But
he's playing mid and he's topping off on the mid lane here.
Yeah, so he plays both mid and carry. So he was in Div 5 last time, and he stomped. That he absolutely stomped Div 5 last time. I was very sad I didn't pick him because I think he would have just solo win. Because at this bracket, people aren't punishing carries super heavy.
Yeah, I think that was his biggest weakness in the house. He kept dying, getting punished over and over again by good players.
Yeah.
But when there are no good players to punish you, you just eat the low MMRs, you know. And he definitely knows how to do that.
But I still think
he did lose game 1 exceptionally hard, but I think that was maybe like a drafting issue. Like
usually when there's like no chance at all, it's very like indicative of a bad draft. Right?
It's a 16-0 Rinkusaur mid Lena against a mid mag. I think he's had that exact same thing that happens in the in-houses happen, where he's been punished by Rinku playing aggressive, and because Rinku can do that, he can be a good player.
Yeah,
but
he can. Like,
I think that's literally the only thing they have going for them on that team, unfortunately. Team.
I'm gonna give the 2-1 to Deadly Taunt. I like that Deadly Taunt team.
I think whoops.
I think Kalem and Pyres is a really good support duo. Halio I actually don't know much about, but I think it's pretty. Like when I look at that coin distribution, I love seeing that coin distribution. 35, 35, 30, 14. Like,
it reminds me of my Div 1 team.
I've got to give it to Deadly because STJ is an EU4 player. And that's obviously.
I love STJ. He's so nice.
That clearly influences my decision-making skills.
Oh yeah. Oh, Callum dodged. Oh, that's a shame actually.
Yeah, Callum did. Who was Callum supposed to be on?
He's on Deadly Taunt's team.
Oh, so they were playing with stand-in.
Yeah, so they'll have an FA. I think they're looking for an FA.
Yeah, FA it seemed like it was going to be someone decent as well. So, like, it wasn't a match like grief or anything, which was surprisingly lucky considering the amount of people signed up.
And I actually, and I think that they threw Callum was kind of. I think that's a dick because I think they didn't know until like an hour before their game or something. So.
Yeah, he just dodged and didn't say anything.
Very weird.
Oh, and then so Lavi's saying that they were playing with a stand-in 1k below Callum's MMR and only 20-second reserve time for the drafts.
Yeah.
Look at that game 3 though, 17-2 on Lavi against arguably quite a good Chris team.
Oh yeah, it lost mid and then came back hard and took it to be. That's a really smart troll pick there. Yeah, I see it's like you can't really deal with him eventually. That game. Yeah. He sort of picked himself as hero where he knows he can just get some farm and just like take over.
Yeah, I quite like that draft in general, the Jakiro Phoenix pick.
I mean, it's bizarre to me that they've gone Drow with Troll, but whatever.
Just be ranged the whole time. It's that easy.
Just be ranged forehead.
Okay, and then lastly, we've got Chris 1337 versus Ben 1. Now, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again. King Fox is my boy, and he's really good. And I know that they...
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine being biased.
I know, I'm so biased.
Weird.
And Rinku team... I think I chatted to Rinku a bit about it. I think they were a bit unfortunate to lose. But that Ben 1 team is good, though. Like, Raikiri getting in Div 4 is the bench effect. But Raikiri shouldn't be in Div 4.
think my problem with the Ben 1 team. Sorry, with the Sorry, what am I doing? I meant to put that way around. Yeah, I my problem with the Ben team is that I feel like it's Rinku is the sole win condition.
Oh, you don't know Rakiri, man. Rakiri's good. He's offlane player. Very good.
He's a high. I have heard of Rakiri, but he seems to have.
He was in Top's team not last season, but the season before that made the final.
Yeah, I'm looking at his even in the game they won there, he wasn't the. He's had a fairly underwhelming performance compared with both his other laners.
Yeah, I'm glad. Oh, look at that, 16-0 on Rinku. That game 1.
Whew. And look at the safe lane as well.
14-0. I'm glad that's my boy. I mean, me and Rinku are IRL friends. People who don't know, we're played over 1,000 games with him. 1,400, I think, at this point. We're Scottish boys. But I'm glad to see he's doing well. Didn't do so well second game.
Maybe they'll do better than I think, but I feel like I've got to give it to the Chris team. I think they'll just edge him out. Like, it'll be close, but
yeah, I think that can be a good series. I'm going to give it to the Ben team because I believe in the Rinku Rakiri. And also Lucky, mid. Yeah, Lucky was on my main season team, the guy in Ben 1's team, and he's really nice and really talkative. Yeah. That's another Swede for you, Neox.
Oh, Pog?
Another Swede. I know.
Man.
Change, you get T0 now.
So many names here that I don't recognize. I've sold it to add.
I don't know.
Yeah, now we're reaching the unknowns for me. There's players I know. But yeah, Zoran B holds his own against like divine mid laners, like high divine.
So does Rinku.
Yeah, Soren's very good. I agree.
That's why I'm giving it to them slightly, because of Zoran.
Soren's probably the best player in this pool overall.
I'd probably say the 5k KCC guy would probably have a shout for it. I'd say actually a lot of the mids here hold their own against like I'd say Luke holds his own against higher mids. Zoran holds his own.
Yeah, I suppose
holds his own.
A lot of
Grimjo, I know he maybe doesn't hold his own, but he, right. Let's go into Div 5. Let's do it. The King Division. The King Division. Div 5. Here we go.
Oh, why don't we have a deep dive into the first game?
Oh, please don't. Just don't.
I think it would be really good if you got that up on stream for everybody to look at.
I actually don't want to look. I don't want to look at my games. I'm sorry.
I'm deep diving this first game. Don't worry.
But there is actually maybe some drama here.
Lost literally every lane. First game.
Yep. There is actually something to chat about here that I don't really want to sway your opinion on, but look at their carries Dota buff profile.
Oh yeah, there was
a Hammer team. Yeah,
this is the one where people were very suspicious of.
So I think this guy for sure has another account that he plays on, and that's my.
There was a month gap, and he's popped back, and he's suddenly.
I'm not gonna call Smurf, but I'm saying this guy definitely plays on another account. There's no way you come back from 7 years hiatus and go 50+% win rate on heroes that you didn't used to play. Like this Terrorblade, he had like 2 games on before this new start of his.
I mean, there's also there
he has like 20.
2 months in an Arc Warden game where you go 21-2 is a surprising.
Yeah, I think this profile is really suspicious, and he should show his other accounts. That's what I think. Because I'm 100% convinced he has at least one more account.
Yeah, so I didn't really want. So no, I didn't actually realize this until after the game, and someone sent me a clip from. I think it was
from the draft.
Yeah, from the stream. No, it was from the stream, and they were like, "Whoa, this looks really dodge." And because it was against my team and we lost really badly, I didn't want to be like, look at this, blah, blah. I didn't want to, I'm not salty like that. But I just posted it and said, hey, could you guys take a look at this? So I don't really want to blow my load over.
I mean,
PSG.
I'm not in this division. I have nothing to gain from supporting either side. My honest opinion, as someone who's played Dota for like 10 years, this is super fishy account. He definitely has another account that he practices or he smurfs on or whatever. He might be legend. He might be fucking like ancient divine. I don't really know, but I know he has another account. That's what I think.
Because he got an 11-minute Battle Fury on Ursa first game.
Yeah.
And
his performances kind of match what I think.
But in fairness, in our first game, our Pause 4 had a baby on his lap. And was trying to put it to bed at the same time as playing and not communicating that with us. so our offlane was like,
5 for you.
Our offlane was like, "Hey, are you here?" I was like, "I don't know what this Phoenix is doing." And then I just like glance my screen over, and it's just sitting still, like at the secret shop at top lane, not doing anything. And then he comes back, he's like, "Sorry guys, I was just sorting my child." I was like, "Oh, we should have probably paused." And then he, blessing me, he felt really bad because he was like, I was distracted and blood. I didn't because all my players are new to RD2L.
Yeah.
So he felt really bad that he didn't quite understand what it was, or what it would be like. So he didn't realize that it was so serious. So he felt really guilty and stuff. So it was nice. And the codename Chicken Guy is a guy that I met in a pub and we really hit off. And I invited him, and he's super nice as well. So
nice.
I really like and my team are very nice. Lightning's really nice, and Van Dominic. It's a really lovely team. So, but
in Div 5, just gotta enjoy the ride, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually kind of salty because they drafted the exact same draft both games.
That's your fault.
Well, I know, but damn. I honestly, it was a big boring for me. But anyway, yeah, they played well. The Taratas guy just, it was hard. But Hama, I must put a shout out to my boy Hama. He did really well mid. Both games on campus did really well mid.
What a name! What a name!
I'm just gonna put this out as well. Like, even if this guy isn't a Smurf or whatever, like both these games would have been in their favor.
Yeah,
no matter what.
100%. Yeah. So that's why
like
I
everything.
didn't, I wasn't salty about it or anything.
I don't think the loss was on him smurfing or whatever.
No,
I think,
but it's definitely something to look
a factor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So going into, okay, then we'll look at non-esque. It was all 2-0s in Div 5. Actually, other than Greg and Sam, I'm not even sure they've played yet. Not sure. Yeah, they're not sure. But all 2-0s. Which is pretty crazy. People said this Thrawn team was easy Div win. Yeah, they got 2-0'd by OWL's team. Man Bear.
Non-esque versus.
They're playing.
Let me look. Right in the middle. That's a hero. That's a. Boy, how does? Right.
I've got beef with Born in Bronx. He was in one of my pubs. He asked to go mid, and I said, "Sure, man, that's fine." He went mid and fed. Said, "Guys, I need help mid."
I'm looking at this. The non-esque team. I rated them. Wait. Non-esque, yeah. Oh, right. You meant the OLW team 2-0 Thrawn, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you.
Very confusing.
You rename these two.
Yeah.
I'm so done. That draft, I was so annoyed. Just trying to who is who? So you're talking.
I'm talking about non-S. No, I'm on non-S team right now. I'm on non-S.
Yeah, non-S. I rated them. I thought they'd do well, and they've drafted a solid team there.
Yeah, I think non-S is a solid main season captain, let alone Div 5 captain.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll do well in Div 5.
It's decent. M seemed a solid player. He's done well. Non-S played a good dance there. And game 2.
The Dumblefrog Crusader. Oh, is that? No. Crusader 2 gets 37 assists on Undying.
Yeah.
That is good, man.
He's a P-Flax associate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of these players actually came from the P-Flax server. So a guy in my team came from the P-Flax server.
Yeah. I think it's non-esque. I think that's why. I'm not certain.
Lightning was, yeah. And he said non-esque invited him. and he was sad at me because he I
He was
drafted.
honest.
So,
Yeah, that's why I also rated Non-S team quite highly, because he's getting these players he knows and has played with.
Yeah.
So wow, he's just dominated those 2 games. Really well done, Non-S team.
Definitely. Okay, let's go to.
Give them.
Yeah.
So far, that looks like a 2-0, despite how you you seem to perform badly, and Non-S team seems really good. No offense.
Yeah. No. It's definitely something. I won drafted badly. I was very sick. I'm not going to use those, but I was like,
baby problems.
I also have been playing on 200 ping for the past 4 weeks, which has probably contributed to my massive MMR loss. Yeah, let's go.
Sandbagging.
Even though this stream is, I was actually
someone called the catch Harold now,
but I'm not, because I'm bad. I think if I was playing pause 3, then maybe there was a something. But I'm gonna give my team. I can't go against my team. It's gonna be a 2-0 Non-S. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sign. So we haven't seen Sign or Greggy's team yet, so I can't make a huge comment. But I think Thrawn's team should beat this Greggy team.
I'm looking at that game. It looks like Thrawn went absolutely became massive, did an absolute ton of work, but no, he couldn't close it out because it turns out he's against the Medusa, who eventually becomes a Medusa.
Pretty good late game.
Yeah. Wait, what was that Medusa build? Let me look again. I'm noticing That's not.
Oh, this is the Fröken team.
Yeah, Fröken.
Well, I get MKB good versus that hero. Just go Rapier.
Standing in, or wait, am I missing?
So I don't like the procs on Medusa before you get 25. So
MKB on Medusa flat, because you just go Rapier.
I definitely think that you get you go.
I think going, but I just
see. I don't like Moyo because I don't feel like you've got the attack speed to super justify.
Well, it is its situation.
All right, I'm gonna give you both hot take. Medusa was pretty bad. All right.
Okay, I can accept that.
I play a lot of Medusa, and
probably one of the lowest rated carries right now in
It went up a bit with the latest patch, gave it a few buffs, made it a bit less bad, and particularly in this MMR, I think it's a very strong hero.
I mean, in lower MMR, Medusa gets a bit stronger because late game is always happening, right?
I was gonna say in Div 5, Medusa's different. Like Underlord in Div 5, almost unbeatable. I'm sorry, it just is.
Just sit on high ground and put your fire down.
But yeah, I don't know. Thrawn's got a lot of work to do in that team. Okami, Scottish boy, needs to pull his finger out. No, I'm joking. He's a great boy. But it'll be interesting. I don't know. It's hard to say on these teams that I haven't played yet.
No, game 2, Thrawn's picked himself. You see the enemy picks Spectre, just go even later. Just go even later game. Don't try life stealing them. It's not going to work. It's too. I don't like life stealer in general, particularly the lower you go.
I think life stealer is not very great right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's great, and it's very not good because it falls off hard against Spectre. You need to beat Spectre early.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's the Spectre beater? So Div 5, there's a lot of people who just straight up pick Spectre because she's really strong.
Spectre is just broken. Pick Viper or ban it.
You have to pick Viper every single game, and Doom. You go Viper,
the way
Doom.
You beat Spectre, right, is kind of by running over her really early. But it's not going to happen if you can't coordinate as a team.
Or do you want to know another low-key counter to Spectre? Undying. Put Tombstone and just Dispersion basically doesn't exist. It's very good.
It's more like you push early with Undying, which is why he's good. You win the lanes and you win the game.
Also that.
I think Undying is a low-key. So if all you captains if all you Div 5 captains want to lose, listen to my advice. Let's go.
Looking at game 2, it looks like the Epic Archon player went 13-0 on a Morphling, which...
Yes, he did. And he's a legend player now. Come on, our Epic Archon player. What are you doing?
To that, man. That's a very good result for a fucking... Against some of those heroes, there was definite potential for them to kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Tiny can one-shot Morph. You have Night Stalker Silence.
Yeah, Night Stalker Silence, yeah. Oh, he didn't even go BKB. Chad move. He just chatted up.
BKB
but again,
for what?
Morphling can just outright click that team.
Yeah. Morphling
with the right
pretty good at clicking a life stealer.
Yeah.
19 we didn't see. Oh, that's annoying. I can't... I'm gonna write them like this purely because I saw these results. I don't know what those other teams have done. I don't.
Well, they're playing on Saturday. They're playing on Saturday. They haven't played yet.
Okay. Well, we'll put question for now, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it is hard to tell. Because like Sacco, the highest MMR player in the pool, is on that signed team. You've got on the Greggy team, you've got Bleepo, the highest rated offlaner. Crasha could be seen as maybe a bit of a sandbagger because he was like 4K, and now he's like 3K. So
that's what I'm gonna put in. I think that team will win because they seem to have done pretty well and seem to know what they're picking around. Yeah. Thron team seems to be not doing what I thought they would do.
But I tell you something, see that Sloth Demon guy in Thron's team? Yeah. Legitimately one of the most fun people I've ever played with in my entire life. He's in like my friend's Discord. He is so nice. His name was Sloth Demon. And it was so funny when he changed his slot. I don't know. He's actually one of the best people. I'll shout out to Slot Demon.
Shout out to Slot Demon. Boys.
But Div 5 is actually so fun. But the 2 O's, man. Look at those 2 O's. I'm hoping for some...
I'm going with the 4. There's going to be no game freeze in Div 5 at all.
Ever. Maybe the groups are too perfect.
I don't think it. I think it's more like there's a problem where. Wow, Moyo.
What happened?
I mean, fair play, but I just noticed the result you've got.
Oh yeah, it's a 2-0. It's 2-0 for me. It's 2-0.
Not even a 2-1. Not even a 2-1.
What are you talking about? I'll have good internet. I've played carry for 2 more days. I'll be 2 more days stronger.
Like,
you guys don't know.
We don't know. I just don't know. That's why we put it 2-0 the other way.
No, it's easy to. Easy to. You'll see. Everyone.
All right. I will happily eat my words. Maybe I'll cast that series.
Oh, please do. It's going to be very interesting.
I'll be a totally unbiased caster cheering for Non-esque the whole time.
Rue, you're a Scottish brother. Come on.
What? I'm only a Scot in disguise. Non-esque is a Brit.
Don't betray me like this. You lived in Glasgow. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Docs? Yeah, admin's doxing people. Can I get a book?
If anyone wants my home address, just ask me. I'll
Imagine
give it to you. I don't care. DC.
Doxing.
Okay, well, thanks. I didn't expect you guys to join me for this. That was really nice to have some company.
Man. You know my number. You can always call.
Undrafted player, Pepe. All right. But it was really fun. We'll see what happens. And I'm actually planning to do this on Saturdays and Tuesdays. Just because I love talking about Dota and I love talking about RD2L. So, but thanks very much for joining. Thanks to all you guys in chat. Some people followed, which now just remember, if you do follow, hit the no notifications. You do not want notifications from this channel. So thank you to Viper who followed me.
Make sure to click the bell icon, guys, to get notifications.
Click it off.
No, click it to get them.
Polar Bear, Rue,
you don't want to miss anything.
Surfix, thank you. Pompo. Just
you really don't want to miss
click it
off.
Right? You don't want it because I don't really know how to work Twitch. So just click it off. Okay. Right.
Click it on.
To everyone on YouTube as well. Enjoy falling asleep to this. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you later.
I fall asleep to my voice.
Okay, stop the stream.